If you're just joining us, which you're not. You've
been watching. I haven't been looking at the camera a lot. I'll start looking at it more.
This is the Wulff Den. Oh, you can pretend like it's not there.
Yeah. I've been doing that.
This is Anthony Piscini of Hoverboard Podcast Network.
I'm looking at...
And he's the best, and he wants us to have a little chat.
Yeah, it's fun.
So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Piscini Den. Bow.
See, now you can take that.
Yeah.
You can take that and paste it wherever you want.
I think I'll do that.
Joker picture.
Okay.
I went into it. I did it.
Boom,
All right.
segue.
So I touched upon this very briefly in my Wednesday episode. The picture of Jared Leto as the Joker that director of Suicide Squad, David Ayer, released to the public. For all intents and purposes, he looks fine. He looks like the Joker.
Yeah, I fine with it.
The problem is he's covered in tattoos.
Yes.
He's got one tattoo emblazoned on his forehead.
Yeah.
And he's got grills.
Do you think that could just be kind of like a
Everybody's saying that like it's because Batman keeps punching him in the face and his teeth keep getting knocked out. So
Yeah.
they're replacement teeth.
Which that I'm fine with.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But do they have to be so blingy?
I think it could be like a concept thing. I don't think it's gonna be like that.
Yeah, because
Jared Leto's doing it. I don't think it's gonna be. I really don't think it's
you're
gonna be.
putting a lot of faith.
Yeah, you're putting a lot of faith in the actor.
I know,
Remember,
but
Even the leaked set pictures still don't look that great.
well,
Yeah,
the leaked set pictures, he doesn't have tattoos.
The hair does it. The hair's too green for me.
Well, okay, because like the leaked set pictures, we're not seeing them lit properly. We're not seeing them, like within the context of the set and the greater narrative. They're not cut and edited and stuff. He's just him standing out in the sun looking like a doofus.
No. I'm talking about the pictures they took of the screen he like it's the
yeah, you can't.
Thing.
That's
in one of those pictures. He's wearing like a pink suit with like a black trim.
yeah.
I don't know.
I bet he's gonna do fine.
He'll be
fine.
I think he'll act fine.
Yeah,
He's
act
a good
fine.
actor.
He'll look fine.
Once again, it's the writing. It's the writing.
But
the writing.
here's the thing, because the covering the Joker in tattoos. If let's assume for a minute that the tattoos on the Joker are indeed within the movie.
Okay.
Let's assume that for a minute.
It's not concept art or anything.
It's not concept art. That is actually how he's going to look in the movie. They're so on the nose and like not subtle that this actually goes back to what I mentioned before, the false god on Superman's chest in the Batman Superman trailer. It's like you're not even trying to like be subtle about this. Like you were just bashing us over the head with this. Like why would you tattoo somebody who we know has mental problems with the word damaged on his forehead? Like we get that.
Do you think the Joker, as we know him, would ever get that tattoo damaged?
Before that picture came out, I kind of liked what, for me being like Dark Knight Returns, how it was kind of like there was that early photos of him like where he was like Jared Leto was sitting down somewhere and he was an iPhone and he was showing someone a picture of him.
And he's in like the white suit.
Yeah, it was like, very Dark Knight Returns. Like,
That's interesting.
I was fine with that, but then I kind of saw this one and I'm like, okay. I kept on thinking to me that I hope this is just some tattoos are fine, but the one on the forehead, I'm like, maybe this is just
all of the tattoos except for the ones on
damaged.
his face.
Yeah, that's me too. Yeah,
yeah, like because you can cover all the other ones up. That's not a big deal. I mean, would the Joker ever get tattoos? It's not something I think he would do.
I like the All-Star Batman where he's got
the dragon tattoo on the back.
I'm not opposed to the dragon on the back.
I don't think the Joker will get a big red dragon tattoo on his back.
Why not?
I feel like if anything, he would like tattoo himself with like ha-has and big smiles.
Or cut them into himself.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, he might get a tattoo of damage on his forehead for the lulz, but then he would also probably cut it out himself because he thinks it looks stupid.
It's crazy.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's some rumors that those tattoos are photoshopped on.
Yeah.
I heard that like somebody did some like heat mapping or whatever and found out that they were like kind of like JPEGs, like pull over it, which doesn't make any sense.
I think somebody actually compared one of the tattoos to an actual image of fan art.
Yeah.
And, it was exactly the same, yeah.
Oh, well, the ha-ha-has look like Jacques.
Yeah.
I think that might be like a concept art thing. I really think it's just like
so.
I think it's the
so.
Joker. He's damaged.
I tried to play with the levels on the picture and see if it looked like a little roster or something, and I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, it's just really strange that like because they released the image for the 75th anniversary of the Joker.
Yeah,
and it's really strange that for in celebration of the Joker,
75 years of the Joker.
Yeah,
He came out quickly after Batman.
He came out a year after Batman.
it was a year. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Like Robin, the Joker, Catwoman, all came out like the same year. And I think like
Robin.
Robin is 8 months younger than Batman. So anybody out there who thinks that Robin is not part of the original comics, who thinks that Robin is unimportant, who think that Robin ruined Batman, get educated.
Suck it.
Robin is just as important. Robin predates
you. He predates you.
He predates Alfred. He predates the Batcave. He predates the Batmobile. He predates just about everything you know about Batman. So,
suck a goddamn dick.
What he said.
Suck a big old dick.
Anyway, the Joker.
The thing about the photo, like you guys posted on your Instagram yesterday, the photo of Heath Ledger that came out in 2007.
Right.
And the reason that I was talking about it on my show was that I remember being so excited because I was hunting for every little piece of like the info I could find about the movie, and when that came out, it was like I remember it was all positive. It was all
okay.
I remember
context is important here because we had just come off of Batman Begins.
That was amazing.
Which was amazing.
And we got the card at the end.
Yeah. And like there was so much goodwill built up from Batman Begins.
Exactly.
This is coming off of Man of Steel, which doesn't have a lot of goodwill built up around it.
Yeah. Good point.
Which isn't exactly,
That's why everyone loves it. That's why everyone loved everyone. I mean,
everyone was excited for the Heath Ledger Joker.
And the Heath Ledger casting was. I remember some people would be like, "Really?" And I was like, "This is going to be great."
That's how it's sort of like how I felt about Ben Affleck. Like
exactly,
he's the last person I think should play the Joker, but he proved me wrong. I'm sure Ben Affleck will be fine too.
I didn't even see Heath Ledger as the Joker when I was watching it.
Yeah,
it didn't even.
He didn't even look like him. Yeah.
Even when he didn't have the makeup on that one scene, it was just so. He was. I still think that's outrageous. That role.
So, yeah, it's just the goodwill is not there.
That's a good point. That's a good way to say it. I remember you're coming off the heels of a great movie, and also you get the build for that photo is a long time. Like you get the card at the end of Batman Begins, and that was 2005. You don't see the image of the Joker till 2007, and then you don't get the movie till 2008.
Yeah, like they really handle that well. This new
don't attack him.
I was reading an article before I came here about like the behind the scenes stuff of what's going on with the DC Cinematic Universe. And it's like apparently industry insiders think they're doing this wrong.
Exactly. I know a lot of people that feel like it's not like
going the way Marvel does it is, you got Kevin Feige up top and he goes and he finds these writers and they said, "Hey, write an Iron Man movie for me." And they go, "Okay." They write it. And Kevin Feige looks at the script. He goes, "Okay, not bad." He goes to the director. "Hey, take a look at the script. What do you think? Well, I changed this, this, and this. Okay, do that and then direct the movie." What they're doing with DC is they're basically getting like 5 different groups of writers going to each of them and go, "Hey, first one to make the best Wonder Woman movie wins. Go."
Exactly. That's what it feels like.
And they're like, "Okay, can I talk to that guy?" "No, it's a contest. First one who wins, makes the Wonder Woman movie go." Like, there's no collaboration. Everything's like being kept separate.
It's going too fast too.
It's going too fast. Everything is. There's no like central figure up top, like trying to I don't want to say control, but like
it's too Hollywood.
It's way too Hollywood. It's very
Hollywood blockbuster. That's
it's very designed by committee as opposed to designed by, one guy leading a team.
Yeah.
It's very scattershot. The closest thing the DC Cinematic Universe has to a leader is Jeff Johns, the chief creative officer of DC Comics, who I don't think they're listening to.
I don't think that.
Which is like incredible because Marvel has such a big hand in these movies.
Yeah.
Why doesn't DC have a big hand in their movies?
And Zack Snyder, who, as we've seen, I don't think he really understands these characters.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder, here's the thing about Zack Snyder.
He just likes putting little Easter eggs in his movies about his old movies.
I stand by this. His version of Dawn of the Dead is one of the best action movies of the 2000s.
I agree. That
Hands
movie's
down.
great.
It's not the same as the George Romero movie, and it's not trying to be. It is trying to be a good horror action movie, and it is. It is great. 300 is also very good. Here's the thing about 300. The comic book is very story light.
Yes.
It is very much a visual feast, and he nails that. If anything, he improved upon it because he added a subplot, which the original did not have. The original was just a bunch of dudes standing around in their underwear screaming at each other.
Yeah.
So there's that. Watchmen,
he did it. He tried.
You can tell he did the absolute goddamn best he could with Watchmen. The problem is Watchmen is too smart for him.
Yeah, it was. He had 4 hours of footage, 4.5 hours of footage that they like that total when it was done.
Yeah, and it's just, he couldn't. I mean,
Terry Gilliam said the movie is unmakeable.
Everybody says the movie is unmakeable.
Yeah,
Watchmen.
I mean, unmakeable.
It only works as a comic book.
He definitely did the closest I think anyone could have come.
He made an unmakeable movie.
And honestly, I feel like Watchmen.
That's because he butchered the end.
Yeah, no, the ending.
But like, you can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't do
the
that.
The problem is he tried to do like with 300 and stay as faithful to the comic as humanly possible. But then he started to change things, like the ending, like certain relationships, like certain pieces of dialogue, and like it didn't work because he was trying to do both at the same time, and you can't do that. You either have to adapt or you either have to translate. You can't do one or the other. Watchmen, you have to adapt, and he was trying to do both.
You know, I could argue that the ending would work as a video game, but the whole rest of it wouldn't.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I feel
because video games are just as outrageous.
I would feel it would be more like a video game.
Will.
Yes.
Pacini.
Yes.
I
like to point out this is the Wulff Den here at the Hoverboard Podcast.
Super crossover.
Super crossover show. Oh, that's what we call it.
Hoverboard Cross Wulff Den.
Yeah.
But you put an X instead of a cross.
Oh. That's how the Japanese do it.
It's like
the cross good.
You can check out the Wulff Den every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on YouTube.
Every Monday.
Every Monday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Exclusively on youtube.com/WulffDen.
WULFFDEN.
Yeah.
I always forget to spell it out.
Yeah.
And Hoverboard Podcast, which is Hoverboard
PCN.
.bandcamp.com.
.bandcamp.com.
Yes.
Yeah. And Facebook, Instagram is all the same.
If you're watching our video, it'll be linked in the description.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll link us.
And if you're listening to my show, I want to thank the Wulff Den for coming here. And if you're watching the video, I want to say thank you for having me.
Oh, you're
no problem. We're going to keep going, but if you want to hear the rest of it, go to hoverboardpodcast.com. And until then, have a good week. But like I said, he's not perfect either. My first introduction to Brian Azzarello was his Batman story, Broken City. And that's just awful. I'm sorry, but it's just bad. And so is his Superman story that followed, For Tomorrow, with Jim Lee.
But some mods take years to develop. People dedicate a big portion of their lives to making these things. Like, for example, False Scar, which adds an entirely new area to the map. It's basically unofficial DLC made by a group of really passionate game creators in their free time and offered to you for free.